We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman. Phenomenal woman. That's me. That's me. Welcome to Gospel Rhythms.
Yes.
.com, LATalkLab.com, all the .coms. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. That was Maya Angelou. Just a stanza, just a bit of Phenomenal Woman, written by the late but yet so well respected and most amazingly talented and deep woman. She was so incredible and phenomenal herself. So, Maya Angelou, you will be missed. We love you.
Yes, we do, and we had to just pay tribute, and we'll go out with her as well when we end the show. And
That's right.
You know, it's we're going to have to do a show, and we're going to have to invite the poet Trish to come, and we're going to just do a full out, just paying homage to the gift that her body of work inspired, spoken word and poetry, and just living a victorious life of overcoming, especially some of the adversities that you shared. And if you haven't read up on Maya Angelou or her life, I need to probably read a little bit more up on it myself after all the things you've shared with me that you learned just off camera. I mean, wow, it's like you can do all things through Christ. Allow him to strengthen you.
That's
you know,
right.
you can be an overcomer and rise above whatever set of cards, circumstances, issues, or whatever you feel life has dealt you. You can rise above that and shine.
And you know what? It's sad that people have to leave this world for us to actually look them up. And I'm guilty. Look them up, study them, and so many things I did not know about this amazing, remarkable woman. And I've learned recently, I did not know that for 5 years she was mute. And she was mute
By choice, though.
She was mute by choice at a young age because she had been raped by her mother's boyfriend. And what happened was when he got out of jail, he was only in jail for one day, and I thank my sister Imani for also helping me with this information. But one day he was out of jail, and
he's back at it again.
And no, it's just that he got murdered recently after that. And so she felt responsible for it because, you know, it was said it could have been some of her family members that actually murdered him. We don't know. I mean, that's, you know, I'm not saying that's set in stone.
But, you know, I also think, too, that, you know, it just goes for us to take a reflective moment, because forget about people who are established or famous who have lived an impactful life. What about within our own family? You know, to pick up a phone or to go pay a visit. You know, it's not until after we're all sitting at the funeral home or at the wake that it kind of dawns on us, well, I should have smelled this set of flowers or these set of roses that the Lord gave me long before this event,
right.
you know,
so many regrets.
Don't wait till the family reunion to have a reunion.
Right.
You know?
Don't wait till the funeral to give the flowers.
Yeah, don't wait till the illness to make a call or to pay a visit, you know?
Yeah. And well, thank you. That reminds me, I got to call my Aunt Betty. Okay, Aunt Betty, I love you. I'm calling you. I know you just got out the hospital, but thank God you're back home. But listen, though, she was mute because she felt responsible for the man's murder because she spoke up and told her brother, and her brother is the one that told the family, and that's why the man ended up being charged and then went to jail. But other things about Maya, she was a dancer, and she studied drama, and she worked with Martin Luther King. I mean, just so much. You guys,
it is
go look
inspiring.
Go look up valid information.
It can show you that, you know, it doesn't matter where your life has taken you or has fallen. You might be under strip clubs, and God can still use you. He still has purpose for it, even you having been there. You may have been working a corner. You may have been putting people to work on a corner. God has purpose for you and has a plan for you. You just take it out of your hands and put it into His hands.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
But man, I just love it. Coming here to do what we do. This is, I feel like this is the word part of the entertainment edition. We got to drop the word. How was the word speaking? What the plate of food the Lord served up for you this morning?
Oh, you just gonna throw me under the bus like that? I'm
Oh,
supposed
you
to.
go.
You just expect me?
Saying.
I didn't even bring the Bible
I
today.
gotta get
You
mine
should have my
together,
Bible right here.
But up here and in here.
But it's in here.
That word have I hid in my heart. So
wait, hold
how
on.
about what word you got hidden in your heart?
It was Joshua.
One
You know
night,
what?
I
You
know
know
the
what?
plans I have for you.
Okay,
There
I'm
it is.
glad you
See,
brought that up.
give
I'm
me
glad
some.
I'm gonna give you some.
Right.
All right, there we go. Okay, so
Teamwork, make the dream work.
all right, I'm gonna talk now. So, what happened today? We had a visitor from India. Well, actually, is it y'all help me? Sri Lanka? Am I
Sri
saying
Lanka.
like that?
Yeah,
I know.
that's where all of our
Sir
calls
Richardson
go
was
to
in the
when we
house.
need
I know he
customer
knows that. And so this man, I did not know this, but in Saudi Arabia, they do not allow you to have a Bible because it is strictly Buddhist. And so he bravely went over there in customs and everything at the airport with his Bible on top of his suitcase. And yeah, he said it took him 4 hours to get through. And they took him in the back and gave him the run through because he did have the Bible, but he ended up making it through. He ended up ministering to people and found out that there was an underground church for Christians there with 70 members, so he ended up ministering to them. Then he had to go to a hospital, and I'm giving you guys the short, quick version because he had such an amazing testimony. You know, I love testimonies. I'm like the testimony queen. And so he went to this hospital to pray over this one particular man, found out this man was actually over all of the Buddhists. He was the minister. And after praying for him, the man was healed. He was bleeding out of his ears and his nose, and anyway, the man was healed, and the man ended up coming to Christ. And I think that's awesome. And that's just me giving you, like I said, the skimmed over version. This guy's testimony, I talked to him and his family. They will be in here in Gospel Rhythms one day soon, hopefully, and they can give it their testimony themselves because they're still dealing with it. But he's determined. He's going to work for Christ and do God's will. So I think that's awesome.
I think the most impactful word for the week for me, and you hear it, but you can never hear it too much. You can't ever hear it too much. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence
of things
not seen. And
That's
I think the message was you need to be a blind man walking. And they use the illustration of what blind people have to do when you roll up to an ATM. They pull out. I got a set of headphones to plug into the machine to hear and to get the directions to make sure that what they're feeling that they're doing is exactly what they're doing. And just like we need to plug into God to hear what we're doing as we're guided by the braille of the word, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure that we're putting the right code, taking out the right amounts or whatever, and not worrying about who might be looking over our shoulder because we cannot see. You know what I mean? As the blind have to do at the ATM, but just trusting that God in the midst of Him working whatever He has to work out in us, if we're plugged into Him, that we will have that connection that will allow us to be blind man walking,
right?
And to listen as a blind man does with each step, how they tune their ear to the frequency of the various steps, so they know when they come to maybe the end of a street or they're about to go down a different set of where stairs or maybe about. I mean, it's amazing how those sentence heightens. But that was like the picture that kind of went with that the scripture. So
yeah, that's supernatural faith, y'all. We can't have fear, like I heard on the radio this morning. I don't know what pastor that was, but thank you for that word. It's amazing. If you're going to really have faith, fear cannot operate in the same space. Sorry, it just doesn't work that way.
And you know what fear is, right? False evidence appearing real.
I like that.
Don't let the enemy punk you. Don't let yourself false evidence appearing real.
Muchas gracias.
False evidence appearing real.
Good. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what it's about.
False evidence
but
appearing real.
But last week's show was awesome.
Yes.
We have to give love before we tell you about our awesome show today.
And before we tell you about that, I had something else. But go ahead.
Was it your event?
What happened?
No, was it your event, Tris?
Triste. Oh, no. This is Carla Saunders. She's a filmmaker in Atlanta, up and coming, awesome filmmaker Carla Saunders, and another one of my little sisters that I actually adore. And she's something. That girl works hard and she worries herself. So this word is for you, Miss Carla Saunders. Stop worrying. Stop stressing. God got you. You came this far. He'll take you the rest of the way. And after the show is over, you're going to be smiling from ear to ear. So just believe it and receive it. All right. So Trish Day is coming up June 14th. I will be doing the red carpet hosting in Atlanta at a new restaurant called Vibe Restaurant and Bar. There's going to be food, entertainment. Lamont Farrell will also be, or I hope I'm saying his name right. It could be Farrell. Lamont, please forgive me, but it's Lamont. He will be there. He'll also be co-hosting with me. Rick Ross has been helping out. Tony Grant is supporting, but he won't be there that day. And
it's a plethora of folks.
It's just a plethora of amazing people that are coming through. Even she got on Fox News, and they'll be there taping the whole thing. So she's really doing
what
good.
What part of Atlanta?
Atlanta, Georgia. That's it. Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah,
I don't
Georgia
know what part, girl. I'm doing good to remember Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, anyway, last week's show, but the flyer, he has a flyer. So if you pull up the flyer, there it is. Man, Eric, help us out. Right. Jay Tracy, when he after you can pull a picture of Jay up. She was our guest last week for our Life Edition. Amazing woman of God, mom, entrepreneur. She's a YouTube sensation. I mean, if you missed that show, you got to check it out. I mean, I've still got chills from her sharing her story about the scripture that impacted her, which was a turning point of what causes her to be happy in all things. I heard, joy depends on Jesus, happiness depends on something happening. But she started what I like to coin the happiness movement, and happiness is, and I just marveled how you never know out of a situation that could potentially be a tragedy, like a lot of things that Maya Angelou experienced. Here, it was a miscarriage, her first child, and this story that she shared, you really need to see her give the full impact of it. But how God used the scripture when her Bible just fell open, and I got that scripture later that week where it says, "I know I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb." I might be butchering it, Jesus, please forgive me, but we'll get the answers to that.
We can give it to you correct, if not this week, next week. However, the show was Jay Tracy last week, and I mean, it's just amazing how it really does refresh you and strengthen you and causes you, just like David did when he and Bathsheba lost their child. He's like, I'm done. I cried, I fasted, I've done all I can do. The dead buried the dead. You got to keep on living and keep it pushing. And I was going through last week. I mean, last Sunday we both were going through, and it's so funny because here we are hosting this show and supposed to always be an inspiration and upbeat, but yet our guest came on and inspired us and blessed us, because I was having like I said, I had a moment. But y'all know I like to keep it real. But here's the thing. Yeah, what's that? In our moment, we still got to keep it going. Well, and I did push. No, we do. But I'm just like, people look at people and think that they got it going on all the time. But it's absolutely not. Oh my God, no, that's not reality. That's not reality. For you. Right. And let me say real quick. Say hello. Real quick. Hello to Janice. Janice Bridges. She's 17 years old. She's suffering from a very serious case of lupus that affects her joints. She has headaches on a daily. She's even having issues with her brain. She's not always feeling good. And I spoke to her and prayed with her the other night, and my heart, it's like just thinking about it makes me want to cry. Her mom, Jennifer Barge, has been dealing with this since she was 7 years old. She's a great mom. Jennifer and Janice, God bless you all. And to her dad and Don Barge, who's a photographer friend of mine in Chicago, he's the grandfather. But just an amazing family. And I'd love for all the Gospel Rhythms viewers out there to keep Janice in your prayers, because I'm believing for a supernatural healing for her body. Because she's a sweetheart. She's such a good kid. Her mom was saying we need to put her in touch with your niece, because your niece that was in our studio, she has lupus. And she actually is featured in our magazine under the Perspective. I say, what Perspective? It's the last section of the magazine. We call it Perspective Reality Check, because what perspective are you looking at your situation or your issue or your challenge or your hurt or your pain? Are you looking at it from your perspective or from God's perspective? And it's called Got Faith, and she found out 2 days before Christmas, after a series of illnesses, that she got lupus. And so she talks about what that journey was like, finding out
that's what she had, and that's why she had been in pain for all these years. But
Yeah.
amen, we'll keep her in prayer.
Right.
And we got to go to commercial.
We got to go to commercial.
And we got to come back because we
Okay.
got our awesome show today. You give a little teaser. Okay, give a little teaser.
I just went straight in. I just went right in there.
Get to
I'm
the
excited.
name. With an appetizer before we go to commercial. What they can expect, and you could tweet, Instagram,
yeah.
Facebook, all of the above. If you still pick up the
call.
phone and call somebody, I don't know if
Yes.
y'all still do that these days.
What's the number? You know the number.
No, I'm
323?
I'm telling them to call their people.
Right.
We gonna get a number later.
then they can
no,
call
we
us.
don't know. We gonna
So we
get
can't
on the
get a
number
number
later.
now?
No, they
So
got
what
too
you gonna
much
do
they're
if I get the
doing
number
right
now?
now.
You
I'm
gonna
giving
get mad?
instructions for them to go bring their friends. That's
So-
too much going on
But
right
what
now.
if I want to give the number?
Well,
now?
I just said we're gonna give it later. Now you prep to get reading. Or give it a little bit. You can't walk and chew bubble gum. Come
You
on.
guys, Cy Richardson, he was recently reoccurring in the 12 Emmy-nominated series Pushing Daisies, and his FedEx Super Bowl commercial Pigeon was a 2008 Emmy-nominated commercial. Cy Richardson won the 2007 Best Actors Award at the 168-hour Christian Film Festival. We have so much more to share with you about Cy, but that's a teaser because I can feel this one over here. She wants to get it moving. We're going to have a commercial break. We'll be right back. I am Trisha Mayan Grant.
DJ too. I was like trying to tell a brother pick up my mix.
What's your name?
You know what I'm saying? I'm the DJ too, so I was trying to tell a brother Van Eric to pull up my party mix to go to commercial, and he got me like my pants down, like, oh yeah, I'm over here DJing.
DJ Ron
Okay,
Williams.
host is back.
We'll be back. We're going to pull it back in, y'all. God bless.
When it's going wrong, encourage other believers to keep holding on, casting the vision and we making it plain. We the head, not the tail, so we won't complain. Here to lift up the downcast and the broken hearted, changing lives with the truth. So let's get it started. We got the word, music, entertainment, light. You can catch us on the air every Sunday night with special guests, the news, and interesting stories. A platform for the kingdom to give God the glory. Worldwide, and we live on the Ustream. What you know about the Gospel Rivers magazine? But God's in it, you don't gotta chase dreams. You need to check us out and see what we mean.
Cast a vision.
Okay.
Heaven's party. Here on earth, make it play. Gospel rhythms. Cast a vision. Heaven's party. Here on earth. Here on earth.
We got singers, rappers, spoken word, and actors, and business owners, playwrights, and pastors. There's many gifts to encourage the body. Consider this an invitation, come and kick it and party. We're evolving the way we deliver the gospel. Same message, different method, redefined apostles. And through Christ, we're empowered to shine. Everybody's VIP, ain't no way in the line. GospelRhythms.com. We make the word jam, the beat to which we live. We about to take the land. Let them know about Jesus, the anointed one. Gave us power and authority to get it done. He opens doors, so you don't gotta kick them down. I wrote this to remind you, so stick around. For heaven party here on earth. Praise God always, and we keeping them first.
Gospel rhythms. Cast a vision. Heaven's party. Here on earth, make it play. Gospel rhythms. Cast a vision. Heaven's party. Here on earth. Here on earth. Gospel rhythms, we make the word jam. It's what we live to
The word,
do.
music, entertainment, light. Tune in, it'll make you feel alright.
Gospel rhythms, we make the word jam. It's what we live to
The
do.
word, music, entertainment, light. Tune in, it's sure to change your life.
I worship him. Even when the times were dry, I knew that he was by my side. His love has shown me how beautiful life can be. That's why I'm saying that he is alright with me. Oh, what do you know about Jesus? He's alright. Said he keeps me safely. He's a
Joel Ramirez.
And I'm Lolita Robinson Coppage, and welcome to Joy in My House
on LATalkLive.com. Inspirational radio
with a touch of recovery.
A reality show where nothing is left unsaid
and no one is insignificant who says it.
Exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV.
Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is John McClure Jr., aka Simply John, and I would like to invite you to join us on GospelRhythms.com every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our show GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio. Join us as we celebrate Christians around the world in all genres of entertainment, as well as highlight interest stories on men and women who are making a difference and impacting their community. So don't forget to tune in to GospelRhythms.com on LA Talk Live. And we're more than just talk. Remember, it's a heaven's party here on earth. So live life. Love God.
What's up, world? This is Nicolas Cage, inviting you to join us every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Time for New Rules Radio. Join us as we lend our social satire to the week's leading topics, including music, fashion, and politics. So don't forget to tune in to New Rules Radio, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio, R&B, Radio Flag, TuneIn Radio, Live 365, AHA Radio, TiVo Radio, and Apple TV Radio. Or just watch and listen directly at LATalkLive.com. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
It was only a matter of time before you said we were through. I was waiting on the hour, but you gave me a minute plus 2. You said I wasn't the one, but it was me who was all alone. Instead of telling me to my face, you broke up with me over the phone.
Welcome back to Gospel Rhythms on LA Talk Live. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are with Cy Richardson and his lovely wife, Teresa.
And I'm Bro.
And I'm Trisha.
This is GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio. Should be giving you the abbreviated version.
Yeah,
all day.
She's right. All right, but listen up. Let me tell you a few things about this book, which was written by Mr. Cy Richardson himself. It is called An Actor's Spiritual Armor and a Shield from Problematic Career Challenges. So every actor needs this book. You guys need to get it right away. Cy Richardson wrote the original screenplay Posse and self-published 5 books. He graduated from University of Colorado Boulder with a BS in journalism. Cy joined the Heritage Square Opera House in Golden, Colorado, and they performed vaudeville shows in Oleos. Would that be Oleos?
Oleos.
I knew that. Oleo, I was just testing you, that's all. From Salt Lake City, Utah to St. Louis, Missouri. Cy starred in his first film 30 days after arriving in Hollywood. He's appeared in films such as Repo Man, Colors, They Live, Our Family, Wedding Searcher 2.0. Wow, I haven't heard of that one. Searcher 2.0. Okay, we'll have to talk about that one. Surviving Christmas, Kinjiti.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun. It sounds like some fighting was going on in there. Sid and Nancy and TV Pushing Daisies, NCIS, Rizzoli and Isle. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah. Wow. And Martin, Cheers, Wings, Monk, Cold Case. I was on Cold Case.
Oh, yeah.
And Becker, his career has taken him to locations to Europe. You're so blessed. Cuba and Australia. Cy's career advanced after working with Alex Cox on Straight to Hell. He is on the Repo Man soundtrack performing Bad Man and performing A-Town called Big Nothing with Elvis Costello on Out of Our Idiot CD. His 2008 FedEx Super Bowl commercial was the 4th best Super Bowl commercial of all times. What did you do in that Super Bowl commercial to be the best? Because they have some really great commercials.
I gave them me, and there's no one out there like that. No one like me.
Come on, Si. You better. That's
Wait,
right.
I just wanted to add,
Right.
with his breadth of work that he's done, he's very accomplished, won numerous awards, and we are also so honored to have probably one of his most greatest accomplishments in his life to my right, because we
yes.
got to give it up to the rib.
That's right.
Straight Jesus and no hot sauce. She be the boss.
That's what she's the boss.
Teresa Richardson.
Teresa, I bet you put this resume together.
She's a model, boss, literally and figuratively. Model,
and she's
model,
beautiful
model.
and
Beautiful.
just amazing. So because we didn't give them the proper intro, let's do it now. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing to you a gospel rhythm, the lovely Teresa and Cy Richardson.
Thank you.
Man, it's a
Thank you.
blessing to have you both here. I mean, wow, rich with knowledge, wisdom, history. Man.
All right, so talk to us. First of all, how are you?
I'm great. I'm really great. This is my third interview this week. This is wonderful.
You on a roll.
Yeah,
That's
I am.
right.
Book signing tour. Matter of fact,
That's right.
where can we get that?
That's
and
right.
how much is it?
They're on Amazon.com for $8.99.
Wow.
That's a really good price.
Yeah.
Okay.
My whole idea in this industry is that trying to help young people make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't start until I was 35. So the young people that came in after me, the young people that are coming in now, there's so much they don't know, don't understand. And they look at it strictly from what they read in magazines, newspapers, see on TV. But that's not where the business is run.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to give them a heads up. Yeah.
Right, because they have stars in their eyes. That's what someone told me. A couple told me that years when I was in Chicago and so much younger, like 19 or 20, and they said, "Oh, Trisha, you're so cute. You just have stars in your eyes."
Well, I just have this
Wait a
question, because when
minute.
you read that bio, what do you say to the person say, "Oh, you can say that, but you were only here 30 days before you got your movie Big Break, so I can do it too"? Or,
You know what? I don't limit anybody.
Well, see, that's not true, because I spent 2 years doing vaudeville shows in Oleos. The thing is, I didn't know anything about Hollywood, and I'd never done a movie. But I came here with one thing on my mind, and that was to be a character actor, not to be a star.
oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah, I came here to work because I'm from Chicago, and we have a different mentality.
Do y'all?
Yeah, we come here.
Y'all kind of gangster.
We come here. We come here to.
hey.
We come here to make a living. See. So I was thinking more about that line. So when I got here, I had been here a year before that, and I borrowed L.A. Times, L.A. Telephone Directory, and I wrote down all the casting directors, all the agents I could find. So when I got to this city, I was prepared to do nothing but search for a job. I didn't have any place to stay. I was going to sleep in my car, and thought about my ex-wife, and there was a young lady that stayed with us for 30 days before she moved to California. So I called her, and she said, "Yeah, you can stay with me for 30 days until you find a place," and so forth. And that's what I did. And every morning I got up at 6 o'clock, got myself together, and I was knocking on doors. I couldn't drive my car because I had a tire, I had a hole this long, and you could take your finger and touch the inner tube.
Wow.
So I had to learn out how to ride the bus to do that. And I did that every single day. And on the 28th day, I called this company, and they told me to come in and audition. I went in and auditioned, left, didn't know what was going to happen. They called me back for a callback, and I'm waiting to go in, and there's a piano sitting out there. So I started playing Lean On Me. And the director stepped out, and he says, "Oh, you sing too?" I said, "Yes." Job was mine.
You know, I got a picture you'll see later with Maya Angelou, and she said, "Nothing will work unless you do."
That's right.
That's right. You can't sit and expect
Can't
it to
beat
just
that.
come
Amen.
to you.
Well, my saying is this, and I say it all the time. You say faith without action is dead. Doesn't mean you have to have faith to have action. You go and do what the Lord has brought you out here to do, and don't worry about the rest.
Right.
Because God will take care of it. That's the way, and that's the way I looked at it. And that's the only way I could look at it, because I didn't have but $50 left when I got here. So it was all about doing what God had sent me to do. And by finding a place to stay, I felt that was God sent. Oh yeah, no other thing too that locked it all in. We thought she lived in Los Angeles. I called her in Santa Monica. When I got through with the phone, I walked over to the guy in the gas station. I said, "Would you tell me where this address is?" He said, "Sure." He said, walk to the corner and walk down 4 blocks. Praise the Lord. I wasn't even in Los Angeles, and she didn't live there.
Wow.
So I figured it was God sent. I was supposed to come here and do what I did.
And where he guides, he will provide.
Wow.
If you aren't getting provided for, maybe you're not where you're supposed to be.
And the guy that wrote the first 3 films I did lived in Chicago, and we lived in the same neighborhood 25 years apart.
Wow.
And we still knew the same people, because on the near north side was all Italians and Sicilians, and I lived in an Italian-Sicilian neighborhood. And same stores, same family, you know. So it was meant to be here.
Well, what's important is that for 28 days straight, you went knocking on doors. You went out, and which means you had some rejection.
I had a lot of rejection.
Right.
Yeah, but the whole idea of that is, a guy told me, because I write, he says, you're going to get 100 rejections before you get 1 job. I believed him. So I took and put this card together with 100 blocks on it. And every time I get a rejection, I click it off. I said, okay, I got 99 more to go. Okay, I got, I didn't worry about that, because I didn't ask him for the information. He gave it to me. So I'm looking at that as being a confirmation for God. Whenever someone come and talk to me, just looking, oh, yeah, what do you do, young man? I tell him, and he gives me information. I figure this is coming from God. There was a rabbi once said that the language of God comes from his people. And going through the Bible, I found that same verse in the Bible where it says that God doesn't necessarily talk to you like he talked to Moses. You'll either get it from someone else talking to you. You may walk up and see a poster, and it says what you've been thinking about or been praying about. Some little kid might come up to you and say, yeah. So that's what I looked at. I truly believe that my life and what I do it by the grace of God.
Now, you were in the model business, and we're talking about rejection and doing things by the grace of God. How was the industry before you guys met? Because obviously you were doing your thing as well. Because you didn't come here with a wife, right? Did you guys meet out here? Okay, so
Are you shaking your head vigorously?
Now we have a picture of you back in the model days. What's the name of the product? I believe was Blue Satin.
Blue Satin.
Blue Satin.
It was Worlds of Curls Blue Satin.
Okay.
And it was a wonderful experience doing this poster. And I had a lot of fun because this was like the real professional work. And when I met my husband, which is now, we met and we had so much in common. It's how God put 2 people together, and it's like, wow, the man is the bomb. So I was like, oh, he's okay. So we come to find out we had so much in common.
Now you were modeling and
I was modeling.
Did you get a lot of rejection as one might experience in the acting world, in the modeling world, going to go see, showing your book?
Yes, I did, because my rejection is because I was short. And a lot of times they wanted young ladies that were like 5'6", 5'8".
So why didn't you give up? Why didn't you say, oh, what was it that made you keep going regardless?
Well, I had a lot of confidence in myself, because when I would walk in a place, I felt like I was 5'9".
That's right.
And my pictures, I looked like I was taller than what I was. Mm-hmm. And, and that was the thing when I walked in. I was like, oh, you're so beautiful, but you're so short. And the clothes won't fit you. So at that time, they really didn't have a spot for boutique models. But I never gave up, because I went on and did hair shows. I went with Bonner hair shows, and I did a lot of hair shows. So that's where I had a lot of fun.
You had the mindset of a phenomenal woman.
Yes. Lovely.
And so how did you meet this phenomenal man?
We worked together at a bank. And every morning, every morning I would walk into this bank and, go have our breakfast. And I used to see this man sitting there. I was like, oh, he's fine. But I was, and I would walk. But he had this thing where he would just stare. He would just look at you. So I was like, okay, well, since he's looking at me every morning, I'm going to really give him something to look at. So I made sure I was sharp. I made sure he's going to look, make sure the hair was right and clothes was right. So when I walked by, I would just give him a polite smile. And then one day I found out we sat down and had breakfast. And we started talking, and he said he was a singer and an actor. And so he invited me to one of his shows. And heard the brother sing. Oh my God. I was like, I'm in love. And so we finally, like I said, we just had so much in common as far as like where we came from. I'm from Cleveland. He's from us. He was in Cincinnati. His grandma used to live in Cincinnati. We used to run in the same circle as far as like off of Pico, and there was this Chinese restaurant we used to go in. It's the one our paths were meant to be.
Yeah.
Because we would talk. I'm like, oh, okay, I've been there before. So our paths we were meant to be.
How many years you guys been
I was just
together?
about to ask that.
I know.
26.
I
We
feel
26 in October.
And I'm telling you, that's deep. And she talking like she just met this man. Like, ooh, I'm so in love. Isn't that
I think
exciting?
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That really is.
But you left out something.
What did I leave out, darling?
I thought she was in her early 20s, and she was in her 30s. So it was recently something happened. She told me her age, and I said, "You lied to me. You
Wait a minute. No, you didn't say recently.
Recently, you found out the real
Recently, I
I ain't mad at you, boy.
Teresa,
Age is
you
unlisted.
done lied to your husband for 26 years, girl. He just found out 2 weeks ago that
I
you're
never paid any attention to her age until she brought it up. She's talking to someone. I just always thought she was 10, 15, 20 years younger than me.
Is that why you were so quiet at Victor Orlando's event the other night at the table? Because you just found out that night? We were together at Victor Orlando's.
I had a great time.
It was great, yeah.
But like I told her, I fell in love with her the first time I saw her.
Okay.
The
brown
very first-
suit.
She had on a brown pantsuit, and I didn't even see her face. And she was working at a file cabinet, and I looked at her and I just fell in love with just looking at the back of her.
Oh my God!
You
So
know.
you pursued her basically in a quiet storm
In my
kind
way,
of way,
yeah.
in your special way. And see, people don't get that. The women a lot think they should be the ones to
not only
pursue
that,
the man.
She said
That's not Bible.
something that I just have to just make a point in terms of how she said, I'm gonna give them something to look at.
Right.
Today, nowadays,
Oh,
they think
please.
I'm gonna give them something to look at. That's probably more of me and less of the clothes. You know,
Exactly.
and like you don't have to do that to win a man's heart. You know, just do like Esther in the Bible. Was it Esther when they prepared her? Esther in the Bible, she learned how to do it the right way and not be salacious or seedy or thinking that you have to have these Daisy Duke shorts on, this half midriff, and you know,
Oh, yeah,
twerking
you'll
your way
attract-
over to say hello.
Right. But
No.
they'll attract the attention. It's just going to be the
Wrong
wrong
attention.
attention.
But when I saw her on, what you call this, on stage, whatever you call that, what they
The
call
runway?
it,
The
runway,
runway?
yeah. It just blew me away.
Oh, so you invited him to one of your shows.
Yeah. It was over then. She was going to be mine, period.
So you had that walk. You had that catwalk.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
you have to show us that
walk.
later. Yeah, show me and Ro how to do that special walk. Yeah, Imani's got that walk too.
So
She
we're
was
gonna have to, y'all gonna have to drop
Yeah.
some jewels of advice to married couples around the world and want to be married couples. Like, what can they do to keep it just as fresh as you guys? Like, 'cause y'all smell like y'all just got off the love boat.
We'll
okay?
drop it now. Give us 5 things. So let's write it down.
Your top five things. His and her versions.
All right, I'm gonna write on
She
your,
gonna take notes.
on your bio side.
I have 3 things I go by.
Okay, number 1.
First one is God first,
God first.
family second,
Mm-hmm.
career and other things after that.
Okay, now was that 1, 2, 3, or was that part of number 1? I was like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
first, family second,
And then
career.
career. Yeah.
Okay.
And everything else follows. you know.
Totally.
Is that in
So-
the book too?
Yeah, that's in the book. Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
else
and,
follows.
and I make sure
Good stuff.
that I look after her first. But the strange part about that is she does me the same way. So we end up laughing at each other because I want to make sure she's taken care of. She want to make sure I'm taken care of. And so we've got the
We got 2 pleasers in the house. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So totally cool.
and we both laugh a lot. We laugh at each other.
That's
yeah.
good. That's a laugh.
Yeah, she keep us laughing. She keeps me
And
laughing.
That's
Yeah.
important. I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you.
Yeah,
Yes,
laughing,
especially these
yeah.
days.
And another thing that we really really lock in is that whenever we leave home past 3 hours or 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
we make sure we contact each other.
That's right.
We don't take advantage. Really, the first time that happened, and I was like, it was so sweet because I left the house like about 9 o'clock doing me, just shopping and just enjoying the day. And I knew he was home working, so I didn't worry too much about it. And then I think I got home about 3 o'clock, and he had this look on his face. Babe, where were you? I'm like, shopping. I'm like, you okay? And he said, I was just worried about you. I said, oh, I am so sorry. I mean, the love that he he projected across that, it was just so made me love him more.
Right.
Because it was just the
Yes.
idea when you married, you
Yeah.
really just don't want to take. You feel like you take advantage of one another. Like, oh, he's fine, he's working, he's in his zone, he's in his man cave.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go out here and spend some money, buy me some DSW shoes.
Look, I just did that the other day. Right. Do a plug DSW. I did that and I got checked by my husband.
Yes.
He was
Yeah.
like, "Ma'am,
He will check you.
out of town."
He will check
No,
you.
he checks me because I'm the more laid back, cool one. I don't trip about
The check-in
stuff.
or the shopping?
No, I wasn't shopping. I just went hours and hours because I figured, well, he's at an event. He's doing his thing.
Right.
You know, and I had some things to do too. Ladies, make sure you have a life as well. Don't let your husband
Amen.
be the only one with the life. Have a life. Don't sit there looking at the phone every 5 minutes going, I wonder what he's doing now. And so he called me. He's like, ma'am, hi, is there a problem? I can't hear from you. And I'm like, I thought you were busy. He's like, yeah, but you still could have sent me a text or a picture or something. I said hello. And I'm like, you know what, baby, you're absolutely right.
But you know what's funny about that, me as a single one? I'm like, well, what's wrong with your phone? You can't say that though when you marry, huh?
Yeah,
You can.
it's something else I do.
I'm just asking. Because that's the first thing that came to my mind if that was me.
Well,
I will be giving her this list at the end of the show. Okay, I'm writing this down just for you.
And it's
Okay?
something else I do too. When rehearsal's over and I leave rehearsal, I call her and let her know I just got out of rehearsal and I'm on my way home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now he does do that. One
Yeah.
thing, because he was in the studio for hours, Tony was recently. And so as soon as he got out of the studio, he said, hey, babe, I just want you to know I'm on my way home. I was like, oh, okay.
It
That
means
is-
a lot.
You know what? It like you said, it means I'm not taking you for granted. It means I'm respecting the fact that you could be concerned about me. And that just shows
And then
love.
you're responsible for each other,
Right,
because
exactly.
when you get married, it's not just you now. You 50% and he's 50%.
Yeah.
Now y'all won.
Let me tell you something else. Throw away the 50% and 50%.
I was 100 and 100.
It's 100 and 100.
You know, I was going to say that.
100.
I really was going to say that. You know,
I knew you were.
I really
were.
was. I really was. But I knew he had that on the table to bring to the table, so I didn't want to take away.
So you were trying to
from
give
his
it to
shine.
him so he could. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you.
And another
Gold star for you, Si.
And another good thing by having a Christian man in your life, that he'll remind you about the word, and he'll remind you when you slip.
Won't he?
I know your man does.
No,
I heard him
he'll
speak
remind
in
you
church.
slip.
He was reminding the church of a few things. So I can only
Right.
imagine. You probably take up a collection after your conversations.
Look, I'm praise and worship. I take up the collection. I do the end prayer and communion. Yes, no.
He got the repent sign.
No, but you were so right, Teresa. It is important that when we're praying, not searching, but when women are praying for a good man to find them, that he's not just a man, he's a man of God.
Amen.
Because you want sometimes we want to be led, and you guys want to lead. But there are times when the script is flipped and you guys may be weak, and we have to step up to the plate and encourage and help you all up out of your slumps. So
Well, talking about weak, when I met her, I had been working at the bank 6-7 years. Altogether, I worked there. Yeah, all the way I worked there 6 years. I had lost my apartment. My car died. I was living in a mission, and I was riding a bicycle back and forth to work. I lived in Pasadena, and I worked in Rosemead. And she thought I was riding the bike for exercise. Yeah. See,
But I like the fact that when you found out everything, it didn't diminish your feelings
she
for
didn't
him.
find, she didn't find out until after I got together. What happened is, I was living in a lifestyle I shouldn't. And one day I looked up and said, hey, if I'm gonna be poor, I'll be by myself, whatever the case. And I left this big old condo I was living in, and nobody would give me an apartment because I walked off from the other one. So I ended up spending almost 6 months not having any place to stay. A missionary came by this mission and another lady, and we stood in the middle of the street and raised our hands and prayed. I walked into the realtor's office. I got an apartment, no first, no last, no check.
Only God.
Credit check.
Only God.
Ah! Look
That's
at God.
And then
That's a testimony for you.
things started to change. Then I got myself back together. I ended up getting a call. Director said, Si, let's go to Spain and have a vacation. I said, okay. He said, why are we there? Why don't we just make a movie? I said, all right, it's cool.
just make a movie.
Yeah,
why
so
not?
we go to Spain. We make this movie. I called. My boss had changed. I called the new boss. I said, look, I need a 5th week on this movie. And she says, well, it's a conflict of interest to make movies and work at the bank. I said, I resigned, and that's the last time I ever worked a real job in my life.
Wow.
That was the last.
Sir, I guess so, with
Yeah.
a 3-page resume.
Yeah, see,
Wow.
God looks after you,
He does.
and those are challenges, and you get those challenges where you have to make decisions.
Yeah.
And many of us, we failed to make those decisions. What if, when I got to that position and realized I'd been homeless and all this happened, what if I'd have said, no, I'm not going to finish this movie, I'm going back and keep my regular gig?
Okay,
I
so
Because
did-
it's Jehovah Jireh, not Job Jireh.
That's
And I
right.
think
Right.
people,
That's right.
even, brothers and sisters in Christ, we constantly make the mistake and allow, the mind to keep you in the bondage of not walking in your purpose because you think that it's predicated on something that you see. I got to see this check come in. I got to know that I got a job.
yeah.
Your mind and your eyes and sight. You got to be blind man walking.
Right.
Faith.
That's
Well,
right.
like he
Amen.
was when he first moved out here. He focused. You
Right.
had faith. You focused, and you were expecting
favor.
Yeah.
And God gave you favor because of your faith and your focus.
Well, That's all I wanted to do since I was 8 years old. That's all. You ever heard of a theater called the Regal?
Of course. Are you kidding me?
Not a Chicago theater.
No, it's on. Yes, it is, ma'am. It's the Chicago theater. Thank you. Haters in the
No,
house.
I'm not.
8 years old.
I-
My 8th year birthday, I went to the Regal and I saw a stage show.
Yes.
I saw Stephen Fletcher, Duke Ellington. I saw some of everyone. And when I got back home, I told my parents that I'm going to be an entertainer, period. And from that moment on, my whole career has gone in that one way. I don't care what I do. I did it the best I could, but it was all a means to an end. And my end was to be an entertainer. Yeah.
Wow.
So
And
when
you are.
when did you start writing though?
Really, I started writing in my third year of high school. I wrote my first story, and the teacher wanted me to go and had to go through all the English classes and read it to everyone there. That's when I started. But when I went to journalism school, it's not because of writing. I went to journalism because I got a full scholarship. When I graduated from junior college, Kennedy King, I had a 3.59 average. And so I got a full scholarship to Boulder, Colorado for music. When I got there, they didn't have a voice major. And so I had to change my major, and I changed to journalism. And that's when I started writing there. And while I was in there, I had to take an extra class. I said, I've never had a play class before and never really seen a play. Yeah, so I took this play class and I wrote this play and it was literally got produced. So I said, I can write too. So that,
Isn't it amazing how you just get gifts on the earth? Like you don't even know you had it just come out.
But I must admit,
don't know.
I've been writing songs since I was 10 years old. Yeah, I was a songwriter. I had a recording company in Chicago, and I've been recording here since I was 16.
So could you sing
started writing.
something for us?
A little something.
Just a little something. I don't care if it's the ABCs. I don't
Okay.
care. Okay.
Do you want it to be a Christian song, or can it be whatever I want?
Inspirational fun, whatever
Then
you want.
I'll do one that I do. I don't know if I can say this for other people when I audition for musicals and so forth.
Yeah.
And they'll sing something a cappella, and I'll say, "It's a lovely day today, and whatever you got to do, I'll be so happy to be doing it with you. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely day today." Grab your hat and get your coat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. 'Cause I was walking alone, minding my business, and out on a summer afternoon, there was splash, bash, alakazam. What became of you? Ain't she sweet? Just walking down the street. Well, I asked her very confidentially, and she's sweet. She must have been a beautiful baby, 'cause she sure is beautiful now. I said she must have been a beautiful darling, 'cause she sure is beautiful now. And it's a lovely day today, and whatever you got to do, I'll be so happy to be doing it with you. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely day too.
Oh man!
Hi, Richardson in the house.
How do you follow that? Do you sing too? Have y'all got some? No, you know what's all right. But you dance.
Well, he'll tell me. He said, "Well, babe, you really can sing, and you're not, when you're not really focused. If he tell me to sing, I'm all off key.
You get nervous.
Yes, because well, it's the funny thing about another funny thing is like we can almost feel each other and thinking about stuff. So he put me in a couple of productions, and so I found out how you really love your man when you're in a production together. So he put me in charge of the costumes, and it was for color girls. And so he said, well, just go put the costumes, go fix them. I'm like, okay, so I'm going back and asking him, and he hollered at me, and I was hurt. I said, you know what, I quit.
Did you quit?
I quit.
So you didn't get paid, huh?
I did. I think Nobody got paid. Nobody got paid. I said, I can't be your wife and work with you.
That's what I
But in the long run, I learned how to turn the hats now.
Yeah.
If he asked me to do something, I put on the other hat. And I was like, okay, I'm ready.
Good.
You got to work together.
You have to learn how to work together. Either you're going to be mad. I said, no, God put us together.
That's right.
And we're not going to be mad at each other because I don't believe going to bed without being mad.
I was going to ask you about that when you have fights and things. But did we get her list? Did she give us her list of things?
No, you didn't give us the bio. But if you
No, her list of things to keep it.
Oh no, honey, like I said, this is for you. And
But she didn't give her
that pen. I took size pen. I think that's your side, right? So God is first, family, career, and everything else follows. That's their very first rule. I write like a doctor, so don't even attempt to read this. You'll hurt your eyeballs. And laughter is key. And don't let more than 3 hours go by without contacting each other or whatever rules you set, because everybody's different.
She said,
yeah. Like Tony and I, if we're out of town from each other, we don't let 2 weeks go by without making sure we see each other. We have to know physically. See each other, okay? It's like conjugal.
Now, let me ask you guys. Did you have anything to add to that, or is that?
Oh, and and it's the little things that's so important. Just like if just bringing your glass of water in the morning when you get up, or you go shopping and he'll say, oh, that's right, I ate up all her potato chips, so he'll bring me some potato chips, but then he won't tell me. He'll just kind of like hide them, and then he's like, oh, babe, I bought you some potato chips. Or, I know he likes a certain type of ice, a yogurt, and I'll bring that to him. But it's the little bitty things. And then sometimes he'll cut a flower, go out in the yard and cut off a rose and put it by the vase. So when you wake up, you can smell the rose. I always feel like
that sounds like everyday stuff.
I feel like I'm a bride every day.
Well, wait. Now somebody got a birthday coming up. You got all these anniversaries. How do you keep those events fresh? Especially like you with somebody, you know what I mean?
With me, this may not sound very good. Birthdays doesn't affect me. This one affects me because, I can tell it. They do it online. I'll be 73 years old. Woo!
That's right there. You look good. Good black show, don't crack.
But I don't worry about presents and all of those things. Just just another day. God has blessed me, and I'm moving on.
That's good to know, because I can save a couple of bucks. I was gonna go buy him a present. I'm just kidding. No, that's happy birthday, Si.
Thank you.
H to the A to the P P Y. Happy birthday, Si, and you know why? It's your birthday. It's your birthday. What's that? Birthday song. Oh yeah. He's in the house, y'all, with Stevie Wonder. Y'all can't see Stevie. Stevie can't see y'all, but he's here. All right, here we go. Thanks, Stevie. We love you, Stevie. It's for you, Si.
Well, thank you.
Happy birthday. Thank you so much, Veneric. All right, that was Veneric's idea. We appreciate you for that one.
Thank you.
You guys.
What it is, I like giving presents.
You do.
I like buying her things.
I like this book. Like you're giving me this book.
I'm going to give all of you that book.
He likes giving presents.
So do you believe in love languages? Because I know there was a book out about it, but in terms of the 5 love languages and learning and tap into what your mate language that they love, they like to speak.
Yeah, and even closer than that, I can be in the house doing something, and I'll stop and go to the front door, and she'll show up. She'll walk in. We are so close, so connected, so close that
you guys are one.
Yeah,
wow. Hey man, that's where it's supposed to be. Do you pray together every day?
We try to.
Okay.
But our schedules are really strange, At the present time, I've been commissioned writing a faith-based black soap opera. I'm doing that. I'm getting ready to do another film. So I'm in the process of doing that. So I got a lot of things going on. See.
Let's talk about some of the stuff you got on your, this next section of life with God has for you.
Yeah. And I still go out on auditions and interviews.
You mean with this 3-page resume, people are still asking you to audition?
What happens is that I don't go to first auditions anymore. I go straight to the producer or the director, and many times they're people who don't know who I am.
Okay.
Yeah, but if it's someone that I know, I just go and get the job.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's what it
The industry has evolved and changed.
But but I've been doing that since Colors, and that was '87.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were going to talk about how the industry has changed.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, it was okay to go knock on doors, but nowadays they don't even want you coming up in there with your picture and resume.
No.
They want you to send it, submit it properly. Don't walk into the agency.
Don't even mail it.
You have to have a reference nowadays, a referral.
Yeah, that referral thing. Yeah. But even in my day, we did that. We weren't supposed to go. But I didn't know. I was naive. I came here. I went in anyway. What's going to happen? They're going to put it in the garbage, throw it away. So what? But what does happen is when you go in there and leave your picture and resume, and they tell you, we don't accept it. You're very nice. You say, thank you very much, and you leave. You'd be amazed. I went on an audition. I'll never forget this here. I had sent pictures and resumes to a casting director for a whole year, and he never called me in. I can't think of his name now. He's a producer for Tyler Moore. He was a big-time casting director. He's from Chicago. And one day I'm in there for another lady named Monica Swan, and he walked past, and he said, "Hey, Si." I said, "Hey." He says, "Yeah, I know you. You send me a picture and resume every month." But he never hired me, and it was okay. But she worked for him.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then I ended up getting the job
Through her.
So I didn't ask, but I'm figuring he gave a picture and resume to her.
Right.
Yeah, call him out.
Monica Swan was very honest and brutally honest with me, because when I first moved out here, I was more of a drama actress. Now I can do comedy like it's no thing. That's fun. But I auditioned for the Steve Harvey Show, and Monica was working the Steve Harvey Show, and she very honestly said to me, "I think you need to watch some more sitcoms." That was like 17 years ago. And because of her, I did watch more sitcoms and ended up booking sitcom after sitcom after sitcom. And it hurt my feelings, but she was keeping it real. I appreciated that.
Now I'll tell you a story. I walked in. Eddie Murphy was producing a show called Clippers, and I went in for Clippers, and she says, "Si, I didn't call you in here. My boss told me to call you in." It's okay. She said,
Wow.
"I didn't call you in because I don't think you're funny."
Okay,
and I said, okay. So I go in, I looked out there, and every brother I know, the TVQ actor, was out there. I went in, I read with Eddie Murphy and some other guy, and got through reading, and everybody beside started laughing, and I walked out, and they called me up, and they gave me the job. A week later, my agent says, "Si, the president of CBS walked through and saw y'all rehearsing, and he said he can't be a day player, make him a regular." They end up making me a regular for Eddie Murphy's show Clippers. It didn't go, but
that's
you got paid for it.
And not only did I get paid for it, in those days, it was 6 months before I come out. They would give you X amount of money to not do any other audition. So and they paid me that too. I was
You was taken care of.
I was taken care of, but for something that I wasn't even funny, see. But it's okay. And I told her, she knows this. I've told her this. We were on a panel discussion together, and I mentioned the whole fact, But I appreciated that, see, because after my first 3 or 4 films, I didn't want to be funny anymore, and I don't do slapstick. I just gave it up.
But I also think it's inspirational that she told you that before you went in. You know how that could have just shaken your confidence? No, seriously.
Oh,
I'm just like,
that's nothing.
Wait, I'm just like, why would you say that before a brother go in and audition? You should tell. I'm just saying.
I had a casting director tell me, he says, "You're either the best actor I've ever seen in my life or the worst actor I've ever seen."
Oh, okay. Well, have a director tell you before you're about to go on stage, if you don't do a good job, this is 15 minutes before curtain. If you don't do a good job, I'm putting you on a plane tomorrow and sending you home. Try having that be said to you, and you just got out
This
on the
business can be
road.
brutal.
And this is your first.
You need Jesus to be in this
major
business.
play.
You need some Jesus.
And your book definitely anchored them in the perils and the pitfalls.
In my book, I have scenarios of different incidents that have happened with me and with other actors and actresses that I know. I taught a class at West Angeles for 6 years on Christian entertainers. It was called PEP for Christian Entertainers. And I based this book around that, about all these different scenarios. Then I give a spiritual way to deal with it. Then I give a Christian everyday method of dealing with it. And everything that has something to do with the industry, I have a show business section that explains it. Like so many people don't understand what an ultra low budget contract is, and I give out the information that they need, see.
I'll tell you what
them.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a shame. That's what it is. It is a shame that it even exists for the actors. Now, see, I can say this even as having been a producer, director, all that. I've been on all. I understand. Sometimes you just don't have the budget and you want to get your project up. I get it for all the producers and directors and writers. However, for us actors that put in all this hard work and give 150%, it's a shame.
Who do you think put that ultra low budget contract
Don't
together?
tell me the actors did, because I'm going to fall out on this floor.
And I'm one of them.
I'm done. Show's over, y'all. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Chicago. Good night.
They speaking Greek right now, even though we're out of time. But I just want to ask real quick, is it a bad contract? I mean, y'all can do a rewrite. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a bad contract. Actors think it is because of the money they're making. But,
Right.
But the whole idea for doing this contract was for new filmmakers to come into business, and they couldn't afford. So what we decided to do is put a contract together to help them. It's not
Not the
hurting you.
actors.
Yeah, right.
Because they're getting a product to showcase their work, so they're getting a benefit out of it.
Yeah, by having professional actors work on it.
Yeah.
So you make $100 a day. My agent went crazy the first time someone called me, and I told her the
$100.
same thing. I say, I help put these contracts together,
And while I'm talking, I'm shooting a pilot this weekend under ultra low, whatever you call
and
it.
if it
So,
works,
budget,
if it works, you get your money. And I've done a couple of those projects, and one of them finally came through, and I get a check in the mail, and I said, oh wow, I forgot all about this. I did this. So 2 years later, I end up getting money. It's okay. But these kids' career got started, and that's what's happening. And as Christians, that's part of our job, is to help young people to move forward with their lives. Because I don't care if you're 25 or 30, or you look like you're about 24 and a half.
Please do not blow her head off. Please. She does not need to hear that. You done messed her up for the rest of the week. Oh, God. I can't even talk to her until next Sunday.
I'm sorry.
We have to wrap the show anyway on that note.
So you should be willing and ready to help an 18-year-old with their career. So you don't worry about the money.
But I don't, on behalf of all the actors out there, we don't want to make $100 every single time we work. You feel me?
Well, you don't have to do every one.
Well, this is true.
But if you're not working, you need to do everyone.
And trust me, the money will come.
You know what? And this is true. And I do thank God.
I'm going to put 100 blocks
grateful.
on there, and I'm just start Xing out, because I figure that principle will apply to any other thing that I'm in pursuit of, not just a movie career.
You are absolutely right. So let me say that, because I want somebody going, oh, no, I'm not hiring Trisha.
Trisha, sleep on the
$100.
She need a trailer. She needs some Evian water.
I do not do the TV.
You mentioned something else.
Yes.
The Searcher 2.0 film.
Yes.
We didn't even have a trailer. We changed clothes in the back of the car, and we're in Monument Valley, Utah, doing this film. And I'm changing clothes in the car, freezing in the wintertime. And I asked myself, why am I here? I've been doing this 40-some years. Why am I making this movie? And it hit me. Because this young guy needs help.
Good. You remember that when I call you for my film, okay? Remember that. I'm going to be calling you soon. I'm not playing
this young girl.
That's right.
Needs help.
That's right. I do need some.
Well, before we go, because we are truly out of time.
All right.
Any last remarks that you would like to give, or you would like to leave our audience in remembrance of?
I just want to thank you so much for having my husband and I on the show, and it's just a blessing from the Lord. And just when you find the right one, God will let you know.
Hey, man. Oh, when the right one finds you, right? Because he sure came in there staring at you.
But the thing is, he came in, but you saw it. You had the eyes to see it, right?
That's
right there.
That's right. Any words, advice for anybody out there?
Getting married to her was the best thing I've ever done in my entire life.
I love
Somebody
you
gonna have a
guys.
good night tonight.
I ain't mad at you either. And let me find out, South Richardson, you romantic with the roses and everything. Let me find out you romantic. I love that. That's amazing. Okay, this is his book, An Actor's Spiritual Armor. An Actor's Spiritual Armor, written by Cy Richardson, a shield from problematic career challenges, not just for the actors, but anybody in the entertainment business or anybody, period. This is an amazing book, and you guys make sure you go online and check out this man and support everything he does. And you know what? He's right, you guys. Don't be bougie. Don't act like you can't do things, because you may find a project where they may not have $1 to give you, but in your heart be open, because the Holy Spirit may speak to you and say, hey, look, I want you to do this, because you never know what will happen down the line. I know I'm talking stuff. I mean most of it, but at the same time, I have truly paid my dues. Trust me when I tell you, stuff for free a lot. Okay.
And I just want to say too, because you have some wonderful projects coming down the pike that we didn't get a chance. But if somebody wanted to keep up with your work and the projects that you're working on, or if they wanted to, submit, work to you, or a headshot or whatever, like how would they go about doing that?
Facebook me.
Okay. What's is it, Cy Richardson?
Yes, Cy Richardson.
Okay.
All my friends laugh at me. I do Facebook before I do cell phone. I'm on Facebook all the time. I'm always on the computer.
All right.
Facebook me and like me on my actor Cy Richardson.
I did
already.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that? I'm sure I did, like a while back, even
Yeah.
way back. You guys, thank you,
We're
Venera. Thank you, Imani.
Thank you,
for taking
We're going to
pictures.
end with a tribute to Maya Angelou. Again, thank you so much for the wonderful legacy.
God bless your family, Miss Maya.
Or pain or loss or disappointment. And yet each of us has awakened, arisen, somehow made our ablution, seen other human beings, and said, morning, how are you? Fine, thanks, and you? It's amazing. Wherever that abides in the human being, there is the nobleness of the human spirit. Despite it all, black and white, Asian, Spanish, Native American, pretty, plain, thin, fat, vowed or celibate, we rise.
Wow.
That was so
The galley.
Yo, everybody come get your bounce on, get your bounce on, get your bounce on. Don't be cute with it, you gotta get, come on. Fifth ward, fourth ward. Come on, sing it.
When I close my eyes and think of you and reminisce on all the things you do, I can't imagine my life without you. It's like paradise now, I know that it's real.